Hi, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Doing another about face, still considering on the options on the basically deployment and architecture and the stack for taking a bunch of algorithms and trying to figure out where to go, which direction and which path. I've investigated some of the Windows options through Windows HPC, Windows 2008 with clustering. Every time I do any kind of search when it comes to clustering, Hadoop is the one that keeps coming up. The only thing that's been holding me back from actually installing Hadoop is because it needs to be and only on a Linux or a Linux compliant type of environment. So if you're doing Windows, you need to have it installed with something like a Cygwin or whatever Linux compliant, which I'm not a real fan of. So obviously it has to be more of a pure Linux environment. Right now I've done a little posting today on some of the links that you can get with this here under considering free open source blah blah blah, but I'll give you some of the more better breakdown. This video here on Vimeo is Hadoop installation, which includes a fresh install of a Linux called Arch with Hadoop from ground up, from zero, or from ground zero. So he does a fresh install of a Linux environment with Java, and then also does Hadoop as well. So it's kind of a good tutorial to work from. This is something that I've been missing, and it's a 12-minute video or a 15-minute video, but it'll probably take you a few hours to get set up with the right dependencies to get Hadoop running. I've seen some demos. Also, because of limitation with MATLAB licensing and whatnot, MATLAB cannot be really installed with Hadoop due to its runtime compiler that you need, the MCR. And it really limits Hadoop, and it just makes it kind of messy, and it kind of defeats the purpose of intermingling MATLAB with Hadoop. So as a result, I started thinking, well, there's always R as an option. Now the funny thing is, R with Hadoop, there is a link of a product called, or an open source project called R Hadoop from Real Time Analytics or R Analytics or some company like that, and it's an over an hour video of yeah, there you go, Revolution Analytics. It's a project that they've started called R Hadoop, big data analytics. It's over an hour long, so that's something I might want to watch. And I'm very interested in this. Because of this video, this will be able to make it happen. It's things like this that makes my life easier when it comes to Linux versus Windows. The reason I'm kind of moving towards Linux is because I keep hearing more and more of the HFT shops are on a Linux environment or a Linux server. Windows has its limitations, so I'd rather just do it once and write once from the beginning. R's always been a good option. I've always been watching R for the last little while. I know I love my MATLAB, still love MATLAB, but R is becoming more and more of an option as time passes. And then also it opens up the next question of the broker and your data provider, and obviously using something like LMAX with Java. I've gone on about that in the past, so that's another good option and reason why I would go with Hadoop and Java and Linux and all that stuff for LMAX, because coming from my .NET open source platform for trading, you know, the broker is quite limited. Where I'm in Canada, I'm only limited to interactive brokers, so I'm kind of stuck there. So I'm kind of exploring this as an option. I'll be putting an order in for my test servers, and Hadoop always comes up as #1 for clustering, and that's one of the big drivers of why I'm taking this direction right now, because of the Hadoop, and all the big companies are using Hadoop, be it Google, Twitter, I believe even Facebook. But from what I've seen, it looks very powerful with the Java on top of it. So it can make things very interesting in terms of speed. I've run into some compilers or JDKs, one called Java RTS, Java Real-Time Server, another one called IceRocket or some JRocket, I think it's called, another JDK from Oracle that they're working on, which is supposed to be in the next generation of Java cert. There's an option there, but right now, as you know, I've been more focusing on the algorithms as of late in the last, let's say, month. But once those algorithms are done, I can easily port them to R or into MATLAB, be it whichever one. But if I go with the R options, a lot of things I need to learn, obviously coming from the R side. But we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I just wanted to let you know all that and the reasoning, and I'll talk to you later.